Greg from Team Hybrid BMX. So, today, how's everybody doing today? We having a good day? Add some comments. I see you guys watching them. I'm psyched. Add some comments. Tell me what you want to see. Give me a review of what I'm doing and what you guys want to see on this channel. Because it is your channel just as much as it's my and Dookie's and Robbie's channel. It's everybody's channel. Team Hybrid BMX is your channel, guys. I post whatever you guys want me to. Well, within reason, anyway. So, on the agenda for today's, I guess I could call this a vlog. I don't want to call it a vlog because it's not like I'm actually like going around showing you guys my entire day. Like that I went to Dunkin' Donuts this morning or like whatever, or my dog went and got groomed. I'm not going to show you guys that kind of stuff. Because it's kind of like, to me, the guys that do vlogging, it's not that I mind vlogging at all. I think vlogging is okay. But I just think that there can be so much better out there. I really do. I think you can do so much better without doing the vlogs. I mean, I don't really need to know. You guys don't need to know what I'm eating for dinner. I don't feel like that's necessary, you know, unless you guys really want to know. I'm not Roman Atwood, man. I'm sorry. Smile more, but then, you know, props to Roman for being able to do that and making a living out of it, you know. But that's just not me. Okay, that's not close. But this video, this is about a little epiphany I had last night. See, I have outside of here, and like I said, I don't like to get involved in what's outside of this realm, okay? But it's important to understand what I do outside of here. So I work part-time in a hardware store, and then I have my own small landscaping company. And you guys are probably like, okay, so what's the point? My point is this. The point I'm trying to get to today is live out your passions, okay? Remember when I told you guys like this channel was more than just riding BMX bikes. It's about your own personal growth as a human being, you know, and as a member of society. Because we've always been viewed as outcasts and like bad guys. Like, I mean, really, any riding spot you've ever been to street-wise, how many times have we been kicked out and it's like, oh, you know, that person's a total jerk or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, security guards just being total jerks to us because they think that we're like degenerates. They think that we're like no good people. And that's so not true. So the point I'm trying to get to today, like, I have my own landscaping company and I've always been an entrepreneur. I wanted to get this through because it was like, to me, this is important. Like, I'm at the beginning stages of being a serial entrepreneur and I love it. You know, this channel is part of that. I have some other ideas in the works for hybrid where it's not just going to be a channel online, but we're also going to be doing something else. I'm not releasing that information yet because it's still on the early stages and I don't want to give it away, okay? Same with another idea that I had. I can't really give it away. I can say that it has to do with trail building. Let's just put it to you that way. It has to do with ramp building and trail building. I'll leave it at that. But you guys, there are all kinds of businesses that you could run through a different business, through a different channel. You'll learn through progression where you're going to land in your passion. So like my passion is BMX biking. I love BMX biking. I love music. And those are two things that I'm halfway decently talented at. Not greatly, but decently talented at. So, but what we got going on here today is I just wanted to go over like different business ideas with you guys. Like different ideas that I had growing up. And I'll start off with something small. Like when I was 8 years old, I had my first idea, okay? And this is legitimate, okay? A lot of people would say, oh, you're so full of crap. But no, literally. Everybody remembers the little finger BMX bikes, right? But the Tech Deck skateboard ones came out first. The little finger boards, those came out first. And I was wondering at 8 years old why they didn't have finger BMX bikes. And then like a month or two later, bang, they were on the shelf. You know, but that was already up here at 8 years old. I was already starting to mend those wheels together and say, what is it that I can do? What is it that I can do? What am I talented at? What's something that I want? And BMX seemed to always be kind of the catalyst there. Another one that I thought of at 16 years old, you know, a skate park that was local, we talked about this before, Shebang Skate Park, it closed, and my immediately thought process was, we got to have another skate park, man. We got to have another skate park. So that came into my mind. Obviously, that never came to fruition, not yet. And that's the other thing I want you guys to realize. Notice how I said not yet. Okay? Do not, by any means, give up on your dreams. When you have an idea or a thought process, it's very easy to say, oh, that's a pipe dream, that'll never happen. And you're right. If you deny yourself the right to dream, if you deny yourself the right that I'm not going to work hard on this and it's just going to fail anyways, then it will fail. But if you believe in yourself and you believe in what you're doing and what your dream and your passion is, and you use your passion as a driver to push you forward, you know, it's no different than when you guys commit to a big trick on your bike. You know, it's scary, it's new. That's the way it is running a business. A business is very similar. You're jumping off, most big businessmen will tell you, it's like jumping off a cliff when you start your first business, or your second business, or your third business. Because usually they fail epically. And you don't, you know, financially you dumped all this money into it and you've come up with this great idea, but it falls apart. And a lot of guys either A, go into depression, or B, they lose their drive and think that they gotta just do a regular job and they're never gonna accomplish anything. Which, I mean, at my age, I have no choice but to have a regular job on top of any entrepreneurial idea I have, because I have to have capital to invest in my own business. And here's the other thing, guys. A lot of people will tell you, like, oh, well, you have to pull out some like $50,000 loan to start a small business nowadays. That is a load of baloney. I'm sorry, but I started my landscaping company with, I think it was not really a loan. It wasn't even a loan. I just started it with just little amounts. I started first with just, I had my wife's SUV, and I had a lawnmower, and then I borrowed a weed eater from my in-laws, and then I started buying stuff. As I got money from doing landscaping, I reinvested in the business. And now I have a pickup truck with a bed scoop that I can take everything out of the bed it's a roller that rolls all the stuff out of my bed. I've got multiple accounts, and that's from being good with people. You know, it all goes back to that. It all goes back to you have to be good with people in order to be in business. And you don't have to be great with people. You just have to be understanding. You have to be willing to work with people instead of against people. You have to be willing to make changes. If you're not a very social person, that's fine. But you need to be able to be like, okay, well, I do need to sell things to people, and I need to do it quality over quantity. And a lot of businessmen will say, oh, well, you don't have to get close with your customers. You just want to, you know, be in and not have to do. I've heard so many guys say that. That is the hugest false flag ever. They are trying to scam you out of making money because they don't want you to take over their market. It's no different than a BMX biker saying, oh, well, you know, there's no way you can land that trick. You know, it's no different than that. It's the same exact model. It's the same exact model as, you know, you can't do that. You got to do it this way. Or they'll confuse you on a trick and make you think that this is the way you're supposed to do it when it's not really the way that you would do it. And that's the other thing. Don't be afraid. It's always good to get advice from people that are wiser or who have been in the business longer, no matter what business that you're involved in. But be careful with advice, because advice is a sage thing. You know, it can go one way. It's a black and white, and sometimes there's gray areas where people will try to screw you over. They will try to mess you up because they don't want you involved in what they're doing. They want to screw you out of potential earnings and potential work. But going back to the relationship thing, when you build customers, I know this is kind of like getting like weird with you guys, but it's the truth. When you build customers, you have to build a relationship with them. You build a rapport with them, and don't get crazy personal with them. Like, don't be like, how's your kid doing? You know, don't be weird. But like, just ask them how their day is going. Talk about the freaking weather. You know, do something other than just talk about your product. Because nothing is more boring than listening to a salesperson talk. I'm sorry, but it is annoying. It is, I hate it. When you go to buy like a used car or whatever, it's got this feature, it's got that feature, it's got that other feature. Isn't it nicer to meet a used car salesman that's like, hey, how's your day going? You know, get personal with somebody, you know, figure out what their needs are through personal talk, even if it's something small. Like, a lot of you guys can relate with me because we all ride BMX, okay? But like, there's probably other things that you do in your life besides BMX biking, I'm sure, you know. So that's a big part of being an entrepreneur is learning how to work with people, you know. Another thing is, like I said, with ideas. I turn this is all my invention ideas, okay, is what I call them. Invention ideas. Businesses that I invented, I came up with, okay, from all the way from 8 years old till now. That I just went on a splurge last night because I started to get down. I started to get discouraged about my landscaping company because I live in Pennsylvania where it snows and then it doesn't snow and then it rains, and this is wintertime. It's frustrating for any landscaper because I can't go out and snow blow because there's no snow on the ground. But I can't go out and do landscaping because most customers don't want stuff done on their properties this time of the year. They want either snow removed or they don't want anything done outside. And it's really, I mean, really, honestly, with everything else, it can't be done either. But here's another thing that ties it all together for you guys. So you're like, okay, Greg, what does this have to do with relevance to BMX at all? Well, here's another thing that makes it relevant to BMX. My thought process is I had this landscaping company because my dad and I were having a conversation about this on the phone yesterday. He's like, BMX seems to be more your passion than landscaping. And I agree with him. I agree with him 100%. I do enjoy landscaping. I enjoy it a lot. But I was trying to figure out what is the tie there. And I figured it out. When I was 16, I was up before every one of the guys on Team Hybrid. And I was up at Tanglewood Trails here in Erie, grooming, setting, making the trails right, making the jumps, the transitions correctly, smoothing them out. That was me. And I would call them when they all got up at like 11, 12 o'clock, and I was already up there at like 9 o'clock in the morning after watching MTV. You know, I got amped, I got up there, and I started building jumps. And I wasn't a crazy like dirt rider. I told the guys, I said, look, I'll keep after the ramps if you guys promise that we can go ride street afterward. That was the kind of rider I was. I was not really into jumping gaps, and I just on dirt for some reason it sketched me out. I mean, later on I got better at it and I got a little bit more comfortable, but at first it was sketchy to me. I didn't want to do it. So how this ties in as a business model is I'm doing landscaping, okay, and as I progress the landscaping company, I'm going to be getting bigger equipment, you know, like a front end loader or a backhoe or, you know, stuff to do excavating. And what better way to use that excavating equipment in the BMX world than to build trails for people? You know, build trail systems for townships and cities and the regular private landowner that has a BMX bike or a dirt bike or whatever, you know. And also looking into the carpentry side of that, into how do I build ramps? How do I build park? You know, and use the best of my knowledge from back in the day and now by doing research and development to build that company further. So it's not a company yet, it's just an idea. It's not even hashed. And of course there's other companies out there right now that do trail building and do ramp building and all that stuff. But that's not relevant to me. You know, when people say, oh, the market is flooded with all kinds of people, or that's such a niche market, I don't know if it's going to fail or not. You gotta not listen to those people because those people are literally just trying to bring you down. They are literally just trying to get in your face and tell you that you're going to fail. Now, you can use that in one of two ways. You can use it negatively or positively. I choose to use any kind of crappy advice that I get or advice that ticks me off to push myself farther forward than I was. So when people say, oh, that'll never work, Greg, or the market's too saturated, you're never going to make any real good money at that, I always look at them and go, yeah, so what, the market's saturated? Because guess what? I offer a lot cheaper than the big company that's down the street from me. You know, if I'm offering a littler price and I have no overhead because I'm running out of my house, it's a no-brainer. I'm there for the everyday Joe. So, and just to give you guys an idea of what I do for a living, who I am as a person. So, but either way, guys, I hope you have a great day. Thank you again for watching Team Hybrid BMX, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Deuces!